the most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real-world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Premier Racing Setups is the longest running setup shop on iRacing. Our monthly subscription options start as low as $20 a month. We offer setups for dirt oval, asphalt oval, and road racing, covering a wide range of cars and skill levels. Built and tested by top-tier sim racers, this isn't just a business, it's a community of competitive drivers. If you want to better your iRacing experience, head over to PremierRacingSetups.com today. And remember, if you don't get one, you're going to chase one.
Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Turn 3 Racing Network. As tonight, we are here at Talladega with the OP Racing Premier Super Speedway Series as our playoff session has begun and the drivers are out qualifying for tonight's race. Thank you very much for joining me. My name is KR Stolfus, and in the booth with me is none other than the very special Dave. How you doing, Dave?
I'm doing pretty special over here in my special little world. Thank you very much. Glad to be back, a little warmer weather now. Things heating up after the snow had a chance to roll through down here in the south. Don't know if you had a chance to taste any of that, KR, but we are not equipped for that kind of stuff. So good to be back at a sunny racetrack with some playoff racing getting ready to get underway.
Yeah, I got a little bit of snow and some cold temps, but for the most part, survivable. So no big deal. Qualifying taking place and times are starting to roll in right now. Robert DuPont on top with a 54.51. Les Levy putting in his lap time. Anthony English in the 44, one of our playoff contenders, gonna come across the start finish line and begin his timed lap. So Dave, the playoffs starting here tonight at Talladega. What do you think we're gonna see race-wise?
Tell you what, if you don't have a good idea, you can back up about 3, 4, maybe let's call it 5 weeks, somewhere within that range, and you can see how these boys get down right here at Talladega. But I think this is going to be one of the first times we've been here since the switch out of the trucks and into the cars. The Xfinity ride's now out there on track, and 13 drivers on the board. Still about 10 out there trying to put in a time lap before the end of it, but I would expect to see these 16 playoff drivers maybe go a little harder here in stage 1 and try to build a little bit of buffer zone if they can, if the rest of the night doesn't go their way. So I don't know. I'm kind of gluing in on those playoff drivers. I know that sounds pretty easy to pick, but I mean, they're there for a reason, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's what we're here to figure out, which one of these guys is the best of the playoff contenders, the best of the season. Now, with that being said, and the 42 of Peter deBorja on the trial, we'll watch him come across the line. And then we will move into our national anthem. No one go anywhere. We'll be back with our starting lineup.
We take you down onto the track for our opening ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise Please remove your hats.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous flight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as non-playoff drivers have locked out the front row. So let's get right into our starting lineup for this one here tonight. On the inside of row number 1 with a quick time at 54.511, that is Robert DuPont. To his outside is the 62 of Les Levy. Bubba Winningham in the 6 on the inside of row number 2, and to the outside, that is the 33 of Jeff Crosby Jr. Row 3, Dustin Logston in the 81. In the outside, that is Sean Stevens in the 27. Row number 4, Richard Kuhn in the 47, and Zach Workman in the 19. Row number 5 will see Jimmy Reynolds in the 44 of Anthony English.
And back in row number 6 tonight, KR, the 16 machine of Nathan Warren, Peter deBorja in the 42. Just to his outside, row number 7 tonight, Everett Lane inside of that 24 machine, and just to his outside, Mark Batman in that 04. Andy Briganti and Jeff Crosby Jr. back in row number 8. Row number 9 tonight from Talladega Super Speedway, Sean McGara, and just to his outside in the 071, Eric Lorey. Adam Kilday, Zach Fritsch can round out your top 20.
Row number 11 will be the 11 of Kenny Reel and the 88 of Gabe Butler. Dave Hunt, Logan Helton make up row 12. Row 13, Shane Ward and Vicente Guerrero. Row 14, David Overstreet and Steve Rada. And our final starting spots, Lynn McNeese in 29th position. $250 miles our scheduled distance here at Talladega.
Big field tonight, KR. More drivers than we've seen in the past handful of weeks. Wonder if that's going to play a part in any of the potential shenanigans. Like shenanigans.
Yeah, shenanigans abound out here on these super speedways, but we'll see what kind of trouble we get into here tonight. field for the first time, gets the green flag. We are underway. Robert DuPont and Les Levy going to take this field into turn number 1. Side-by-side racing action. And man, oh man, are we going to see a lot of this tonight? Probably 3 wide for a majority of the night.
Been surprised already not seeing anybody jump 3 wide. I know it's only lap number 1, but this is Talladega. It is pretty typical. Well, it looks like we had a little makings of it in the back, but not going to quite happen there. So we'll stay side by side through 3 and 4. Looks like your pole sitter will lead this lap. And interesting enough, KR, do got to mention it. You mentioned that front row, but even locking out that second row of non-playoff drivers. Are they here to spoil the show here tonight?
Yeah, it's a very good possibility. The 33 of Jeff Crosby Jr. making his way forward. Nobody really making too many moves just yet, at least in the top 10.
Yeah, we got a couple guys looking 3 wide. I believe that's gonna be, is that the kid? Yeah, Logan Helton out there with the 11 right behind him. So we've seen those 2 work together multiple times already on that high lane, or in that high lane, in the 3rd lane. Not surprised to see him jump out there a little bit early. They gotta, whoa, watch the trouble in the front, and we got a caution.
It's a
parking lot.
A lot of playoff drivers collected in this one. Trouble in the tri-oval. Man, that one got hectic in a hurry. Let's see if we can figure out.
I'm not quite sure what it was, but man, that's a lot of cars torn up early.
That happened at the front of the field. Second car in line. I didn't quite see who that was. Looked like the 6 of Bubba Winningham getting out of shape. Now Bubba Winningham, Dustin Logston looked like they bumped into each other that just didn't get along. And it was a big one. Collecting several of the cars.
And you already mentioned it as well, several playoff drivers. So what do you do here, man? You got a long night, pit road's open, a handful of drivers are going to come down pit road. I would expect to see probably everybody come down to pit road, but what do you do here, man? It's super early. Do you just try to fix what you can and lay in the back and pray?
I mean, here, no, I don't know. The win and you're in to the next round is a hard way to do it. There's only going to be 3 winners at most. So going for every single point you can get would be how I would tackle it.
Well, I mean, a few people just tackled each other, and this ain't football, so just saying.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because it's a long night, man. You use your one fix for the night. You could be caught up in the next one. There again, you could end up on the backstretch with no way to get back to pit road caught up in the next one again. So at that point, you're still putting yourself behind the 8 ball, and that quick fix in your back pocket really doesn't mean much of anything at that point. So what do you do?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm just a race car driver. I go out there and drive as hard as I can for as long as I can. That's all I can do.
Don't ask. Why are you asking me to think?
Yeah.
I just get in there and press the big pedal and turn the wheel. That's all I do. Don't ask me for nothing else.
Yeah, if I was any smarter, I'd end up a crew chief, and just to let you know, I'm the broadcaster, so I'm not good at crew chiefing or driving.
Well, see, that's why I like to get so many things wrong up here, because nobody wants me to come back on to the pit box now. And with your math of 2,000 miles, I don't think you have to worry about anybody asking you for fuel mileage numbers.
Oh, come on now.
I mean, hey, I'm just saying.
Well, the lights have gone out on our pace truck. Field gonna get stacked up 2 by 2.
Either we got a lot of people that need to catch up, or that is going to be a massive train of cars down there on that inside lane.
You know, a lot of people probably came back down pit road and topped off their fuel tanks, it looks like.
I mean, do you need to?
Of course.
I mean, surely you can make it to the stage end. Had to slow
you
down
can't make
on
it to the
caution.
stage from
He
here.
came down. I don't know. Gonna be close.
Either
I
way,
think Sean Stevens tries it.
well, either way, the pace truck on the pit road, that gives control of the field to Les Levy and Robert DuPont. Those two drivers switching their inside and outside positions, but on the front row still. Here we go. Green flag is back out. Our first yellow flag withdrawn, and we get back at it.
I'm trying to look through the field and see who's still heavily damaged, and for the moment, it doesn't seem like too many are that bent out of shape. Even some of these guys in the back. I mean, the John Deere machine, a little bit worse for the wear on the rear, but not a lot of front end damage for some of these drivers that are still out here, so that's a bit interesting.
Field slowly getting up to speed, as it'll take them at least 2 to 3 laps to really start clicking in those lap times. DuPont leading that lap, and Field looking calm for the moment. We made it through the tri-oval, Dave, and didn't tear up any cars.
Ooh, don't speak just yet. They trying to kill it attitude. Whew. I thought that's about all she wrote. There was a little bit of a wiggle from the 62. Had to work his way up the racetrack, and I believe it may have been the 15. Excuse me. Came down from that high lane to the low side, so a little bit of movement and action right here at the front.
Going on board with the 15, Jeff Crosby Sr. tucked in behind his son, Jeff Crosby Jr.
Has David Overstreet flipped this field already? From the back to the front after the caution, man. Check that out. We're breaking into the top 10 up 17 positions, and I don't think he passed a car on track.
Maybe he didn't. There was quite the mess of cars spinning through the trial wall if he was able to get his way through there.
The stage at its finest. Like it. Love it. See what he can do with it. Didn't take the 47 Richard Kuhn long to think about going up there, making it 3 wide. Trouble is, not too many looking like they want to go with him. 81 into 14, now going to look to that third lane, but unfortunately Kuhn a little bit further back, not going to be there to help those two drivers out. Middle lane is going to suck up just a little bit. 39 of Shane Warde meet in the middle. The last man in line in that middle lane. It's going to fizzle out on the top side. 14 will fall in line. And we stay green flag racing, double file at the front. A little bit of 3 wide peppered in there, so we'll see if that can't become a little bit of bigger challenge out there from that high side, KR. I think those guys are probably going to get a couple of more cars out there and make this thing interesting to the end of the stage.
Dustin Logston in the 81 has the race lead down the backstretch and drops down to the middle. A little bit of a second guess there, almost causing a problem.
Back into these things.
We got several cars on the pit road, Dave. Everett Lane leading the charge on the pit lane. Gabe Butler, Peter deBorja, Zach Fritsch, Richard Kuhn. All those guys making a pit stop.
I ain't worried about that. I told you the 27, Sean Stevens. If anybody's going to make it to the end of stage 1 and prove me right for once, it's going to be that guy right there. And he is final car in that middle lane, so he's got all the air moving around him. He can let out of the gas a little bit more and stay just as quick. So really beneficial position for him at this point. I mean, I can't look like an idiot everywhere, right?
Oh,
I mean, besides
sooner
the
or
first
later you'll
week,
get something,
I mean,
right?
I knocked it out of the park week 1. Jumped right in and called the pole winner. After that, it has just been, it's been snake eyes. It's been terrible.
It can happen. All right, so drivers at the front of the field continue to cycle around. Had a few more come down pit lane of the drivers who have made a pit stop. Jeff Crosby Jr. out in front, but he is on the apron. Our next group of drivers hits pit lane. Drivers really starting to begin their green flag pit stop cycles.
3 to pit road that time around. Zach Workman, Kenny Real, Vicente Guerrero. But again, I'm gonna harp on the man that's gonna win this one for me right here. Stevens not even looking to get down to the bottom. Had a couple of gaps where he could have made it down there pretty easily. He ain't coming to pit road. At least no time soon. He'll pit with one to go. Just so I'm wrong. Looks like Helton's going to break loose and down to pit road. I think he's got a little bit of company. Anthony English, Shane Warde also to pit road with him.
It's going to leave 11 cars who have not hit pit lane. Dustin Logston continues to lead. Les Levy in the 62 up on the high side, but little flag out. Sure. For what? Do you happen to catch what it was for?
Yeah, it was a pretty good lick through, I believe it's going to be 3 and 4. 47 of Richard Kuhn kind of got punted and into the outside wall. Around he went. Trying to see if I can't figure where that is. Looks like lap number 13 through. Trying to see what happened. Yeah, well, from the little glimpse that we had, it looks like he pounded the outside wall.
Hard hit for the 47, Richard Kuhn. That's the second dust up he's been in. Can't have too many of those. Playoff
Can't have
driver.
too many of them, and you can't have two fast fixes either. I think he's gonna have to use one here. Looks like the engine popped before he got to pit road.
Go ahead and look at our championship drivers. Coming into our opening round of 3 or round of 16 with 3 races. Everyone dead even. Points completely reset. As Dustin Logston gonna lead group onto pit road. Just 11 cars coming down pit lane. A few stragglers in the back. That'll give the race lead to the 24 of Everett Lane. Take a look at what happened last week. Zach Fritsch picked up his second win of the season. Logan Helton finishing second. Adam Kilday was third. Fourth went to Shane Warde. And fifth, the 88 of Gabe Butler. Logan Helton and Mark Mann were your stage winners last week. And then let's take a look at our stage winners. Gabe Butler, 5 stage wins to his credit. Zach Workman, 3 stage wins. I'm with Logan Helton. Mark Mann has 2, and then a lot of drivers have picked up 1 stage win.
I mean, at this point, does stage wins matter? I know I mentioned, try to get the stage points if you can, build a little gap, but with it resetting to dead 0 each round, I mean, yeah, they might help you get into the next round, but they ain't really going to do much good after that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
They're going to be what you want to get to the end of this playoff battle and make it into the championship 4. right, lights should go out on the pace car this time. So the field racked and stacked.
KR, looks like we got our first retirement of the night, if I'm seeing my timing and scoring correctly, and that's going to affect a playoff driver. Looks like the 47 of Kuhn has went behind the wall. I do not think that 47 is going to continue on here. So that's going to be bottom of the barrel from him tonight. Next 2 weeks, he's going to have to be up on the wheel.
Yeah, he's gonna have to make up some lost ground, but not impossible for him, just making it a lot harder.
Well, he did have, I believe, what was it, at least one win in the regular season, so a man that knows how to get to victory lane, maybe put into that position to have to get there to move on. And these drivers on track are ready to move on, double file into the restart zone. We roll, waiting for the smash on the gas, and away we go. Green flag flies once again. 88 on the outside. Butler, first time up there at the front, flipping his positions here today as well. Big mover up 20 positions, KR. So a good flip of the field for that Guinness sponsor number 88 machine. 33 Skull Bandit of Crosby Jr. just behind him. The 12-14 all in line. There's Logan Helton, fifth car outside lane. Workman back near the front again. The 19, third car inside the lane. As they still side by side, no clear-cut advantage for either line here after this restart.
Going to take a few moments for the advantage for either the inside or the outside lane to shape up. A lot of times these guys have to run around for a few laps, build up the momentum, and we start to see who's got what.
But I mean, they don't have very many laps before they're going to be winding it right on back down, because we are just a handful of laps away from the end of the first stage. So I would expect to see maybe some of that 3 wide very quickly here.
Yeah, Les Levy in the 62 up in the third lane. Not really getting a whole lot of help up there just yet.
And I mean, he was one of the fast guys in qualifying, so interesting to see nobody go with him until almost everybody in the middle lane decides to go with him. Contact, little rub, scrub of the outside wall. Somehow they don't wad it up.
'24 of Everett Lane out in front. Fast lap of the race going to Peter deBorja, turning a 49.69. Everybody turned their best lap of the race last time by, so business picking up out there. Everyone's starting to hustle. Pay window is opening for those stage points.
I was going to say, Yeah, I don't know what would ever make these guys start racing harder.
Three wide at the front of the field. Everett Lane, Gabe Butler, and Vicente Guerrero, as it looks like Adam Kilday has popped his engine.
Oh, just a product of pushing a little too hard, a little too long.
Trouble for the 85.
And a big carousel of race leaders now. That inside lane backed up just a little bit, and it's just been like watching dominoes fall from the top lane to the middle to the bottom. Handful of drivers going to take control of the race lead. Official lap led across the line to the 33. Here comes Helton at the top. He's got Anthony English with him. 39 also in tow. Oof. Big move for the 11 from that middle to the top lane.
Ooh, the 44 moving down to the middle. Looked like he maybe got a little sideways in the process. The 63 of Logan Helton. Out in front with Zach Fritsch pushing on his back bumper. Oh, and the 14 hard into the wall. Another big pile up in the tri-oval.
12 of Zach Fritsch giving us his best Gravedigger impression.
And I do believe that will do it for the stage. Zach Fritsch going up over a few cars. Take a look at this one here as they come into the travel. Looks like maybe it starts even with the 12 trying to pinch down. Once again, I see a lot of championship contenders thrown into that mix. On pit road, Richard Kuhn out of the race. Vicente Guerrero being worked on by his crew. So too is the 11 of Kenny Reel. So heavy damage early in this one is the 12 of Zach Fritsch gonna take his spot in third place, crab walking and all.
And he's definitely going to be on pit road for quite some time unless he goes ahead and burns that quick fix. And sea walking at the racetrack, that's just never fun.
Logan Helton, our stage winner. We'll let him make his pit stop. And we'll get a word in with the driver of the 63. All right, Dave, you've caught up with him. Have at it. Logan, this car up in the booth. Got your ears on?
I gotcha.
Hey, buddy, good to see you out there tonight. That 63 looking bad fast, picking up a stage win.
Yeah, we I don't know what really happened behind me there. It looked like there was a pinching going on and a wreck happened, but happy to get a stage win at least. You know, helps out with points, and hopefully we'll win stage 2 and win the race and get us a good little points day here.
Well, you start off with the stage win, the 63, coming in hot, winning the first stage of the playoffs. What's the what's the feelings out there on the racetrack? It seems a little hectic from up here.
Well, what I've noticed so far is the pushing seems to be a little weird compared to what we've been experiencing in the last couple of weeks. The pushing seems to be the front nose sticks to that back bumper, and there's no sliding. Like it's really gripped up, and if you are slightly offset, it just moves the guy in front of you a lot more than you're liking it to. So it seems like any little mistake you make pushing or anything else that really gets you. So that might be part of the reason we're seeing some huge wrecks, and it seems like it's happening in the tri-oval, which might be one of the worst spots for that wreck to happen. But I'm glad to stay out of them so far, and hopefully we'll keep staying out of them.
All right, man. Shout outs, thank yous. Anything you'd like to add?
Just you guys for broadcasting the race. Numbers by Joe for being on the car. He makes really nice wooden signs for your number or anything else you'd like. Nexus, Splash and Go Graphics for making the paint scheme, Vendetta for allowing me to race them tonight, and my Chipotle burrito that I had before this race.
All right, man. Well, nice job. I had Chipotle for lunch as well.
Heck yeah.
All right, we'll move you back down there from Vendetta. Logan Helton picking up our stage win. Once again, congratulations.
Thank you, thank you.
All right, let's move on, Dave. As soon as I put him in the right room. I love Discord and how it doesn't work the way it should. All right, so stage number 2 getting ready to fire off.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little bit shorter than stage number 1. Will we have as many problems as stage number 1's gonna be the question. I don't think the field can afford it, to be honest. I think a few of these drivers may have maybe just about ready to cash the check for the race here tonight. A handful of drivers with multiple minutes of damage fixing on pit road, so we'll see how that hampers the run. But yeah, looks like the front of the field gonna get ready to go back. Green flag racing this time around. Robert DuPont back at the front once again. Leslie Levy just to his outside. Nathan Warren, Logan Helton, Dustin Logston, Bubba Winningham, Overstreet, Crosby, deBorja, and Hunt round out the top 10 as we get ready to drop the flag in stage number 2 is a go.
Field gets the green flag and rushes towards turn number 1. DuPont in the 126 and the 62 of Les Levy. These guys have been on the front row for most of our starts, restarts, whatever you want to say.
Again, looking through this field, I'm interested in the tail end of this field mainly because the wily veteran Mark Mann back there in the Batmobile, but looking back here to see what the scope of the damage is for a handful of these guys, and again, in KR, I'm not really seeing a whole lot of issues. Have noticed that John Deere sponsored 071 machine of Eric Lorey has been the cosmetics a little bit more spiffy looking back there on the rear deck lid, so not sure if that's a product of a new part, or if the pit crew was able to massage that fender out and get it looking a little better here. But yeah, not a whole lot going on back in the back. A little bit of mixing up, dusting up, but meanwhile at the front it's still hot and heavy action side by side. But DuPont still holding it down at the front.
DuPont, Les Levy still side by side. The 16 of Nate Warren. Second car in the inside lane. Logan Helton, second car outside lane. Championship contenders sprinkled all throughout this field, but there's one thing that is consistent. 4 drivers not on the lead lap, all 4 of them championship contenders.
Yeah, all 4 of them championship contenders, and one of them out of the race, not just off of the lead lap, but completely out of the race here tonight. And those other 3 championship drivers, well, they're gonna need a lot of help. Still a very long way to go, and to be down a lap already and be losing time the way they are just going to compound the problems here tonight. Fritsch, one of those guys, already 3 laps down. He's just out there trying to get what he can. Pray for the best. Don't think he's looking for a podium or a win here tonight. He's just going to try to bring home as many points as he can. If these guys continue to beat, bump, and bang at the front the way we've seen all night here, KR, I mean, he might have a shot. It is only 3 laps down, I'm just saying.
It might be only 3 laps down, but when you're doing 150 miles an hour, you're going to end up 10 laps down. That thing is in a perpetual drift. Looked like Sam Hornish Jr. out there.
Now that is a name that I have. It's probably been a decade since I've heard that name, at least.
Well, Zach Fritsch trying to do his best impression.
Now.
I don't know.
Is he really driving that thing crab walking like that?
Yeah.
I just happened to look up out of the corner of my eye and seen it, and I was like, "Whoa, okay, well, okay." I guess he wasn't ready for that fast fix.
No, and yeah, I don't know. I don't know what his plans are.
I mean, 3 laps down, I might as well take it. That's just me. At this point, if I wreck again, oh well.
Oh, Fritsch moves down to the inside lane, gonna go another lap down as the field's gonna flash on by. Robert DuPont in the 126, the pole sitter, out in front.
I mean, not to beat a dead horse right here, KR, but it's gotta somewhat hurt psychologically for those playoff drivers that are stuck 1 or more laps down. Early trouble. Look up at the lap count when you pass by the scoring pylon and see that you're only about a third of the way through tonight's race. It's gotta be a little disheartening.
It can weigh heavily on you, yes. Yes, it can. And you know you gotta
need some weight in the car to get through tech.
Yeah, you're gonna
missing parts and pieces. I mean, they got to get the weight somewhere.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
See, I made you lose your entire train of thought. That's what I do. Thank you. Be here next week.
Okay. Well, the 126 and the 16 running 1 and 2 nose to tail. Kenny Real, Vicente Guerrero, these guys slow at the back, but you got to log laps. You got to stay out there, as like you've mentioned, anything can happen and drivers can crash out, and you need every spot you can get.
crash out. I think we may have had a little bit of problems coming to pit road. Okay, our big group of drivers coming to pit road. Not seeing any. I heard a little bit of something, but I'm not quite sure it panned out to be much of anything. But a lot of drivers going to hit the pit road. Lead 8-11 out there on the lead. Oh, you know what? I'm done. There's 11 guys still on the track. There you go.
Les Levy, Logan Helton now lead this field. As a few more drivers peel off for pit road. Ooh, and 63, a little bit out of shape. Trouble through the tri-oval, but a lot of room that time for everyone to gather it in.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen that happen, what, maybe 10 laps ago? Something like that? And it didn't work out well for as many drivers as it did this time, but what it does do is it does slow the roll of that lead pack a little bit. I wonder if the big benefactors now are going to be those drivers that were able to cleanly and quickly get on and off pit road and in a little bit more of an organized manner.
Logan Helton locking him up, getting on the pit lane, hitting pit road by himself. So as we cycle around to try and complete these green flag pit stops, still waiting on our top 6 to hit pit road. They continue to cycle around. Go ahead.
Yeah, and the 14 was able to grab the back end of that lead pack. I think that's just about the only thing that's going to help him get one of his 2 laps back, already being down to pit road. So should be possibly one of the only drivers left 1 lap down after we get this cycle through on this green flag pit cycle right here. So maybe a little bit beneficial for that 14 of Guerrero just to kind of hold serve right here at the back end of this long train of, well, 6 cars. Is 6 cars that long?
Depends on context.
7, 6?
Depends on the Oh, yeah, me either. I tried.
I just like not being able to see. Gives me a good excuse.
Same.
And wait, when I'm wrong, I'm like, I couldn't see.
Same. Do the same thing. I'm just telling them, oh, sorry, I don't have my glasses on.
See, it's a beautiful thing. You know, Logan Helton did mention that these cars sticking together just a little bit more than what they may be used to. And 2 guys at the front, no problems, hooking up, pushing away from the guys behind them right there. Top 2 in tow. Les Levy and Robert DuPont showing that you can do it if you want it.
Shane Ward, one of our championship contenders in the 39, scored as the first car 1 lap down. And Shane Ward towards the back of this lead pack. So Shane Ward will get his lap back as soon as Les Levy in this group hits pit lane. Working lap 40. Drivers last on pit road, lap 23. Only a matter of time before the 62 and this group heads down pit lane.
Yeah. I think those top 6 are going to have to pit them. I'm trying to do the math. You're looking at about, what's that going to be, 17 laps? But then count in the extra lap or so under caution that you got to make it all the way back around. So I think the guy's going to be just a little bit short here, KR. So I do believe you are right. I think these top 6 are going to have to come to pit road, and that will benefit that 39, who's one of the 4 championship drivers off of the lead lap.
Yeah, it's hard to tell when they're this spread out what the correct call is. We've been watching Les Levy in this group. Let's check in on the drivers who have made a pit stop. They are 3 wide racing. Coming around to pass that Fritsch once again. Ooh, and Workman gets shoved out of the way. And Workman gonna gather it back in. At the front of the field, Dave Hunt. Dave Hunt gonna leave for pit road.
And that's gonna leave Shane Ward all by himself though, KR. He was right there, excuse me, running with those front drivers. And now no man's land. It's gonna be tough for him right here. I think that that second pack may eventually catch up to him. Even with the 3 wide racing they're doing, as long as they don't wad it up, I think they're gonna end up running that 39 right back down.
Gabe Butler in the 88 takes over the race lead. Kara in the 71, Everett Lane, Nate Warren, Anthony English, all these guys right there.
Big move from Helton from the top to the middle. Will that be what causes the next problem? We've seen a lot of movement, a lot of wiggling, KR, and I'm not trying to put it on anybody, but some of the moves tonight made by Helton have unfortunately led to a little bit of troubles, catching a few guys a little bit off guard.
Yeah, like he mentioned, is the front end and the rear bumper maybe just not matching up the best here tonight.
Looks like they're slowly figuring it out anyway. 88 all over the rear end of that 63, going to shove them down into turns 3 and 4 here. We'll stay 3 wide for a few rows here as we work our way off of 4 back through the triangle once again. Logan Helton still out front, but the 71 trying to do a little bit more on the bottom, not quite going to get there. Helton will lead the lap up. Hard charge from the outside. Anthony English in the 44 with help from the 85. These two got a lot of movement.
Dave Hunt going a lap
Momentum.
down.
That's what I was meaning to say, not movement.
Dave Hunt a lap down. Looks like a speeding penalty for him. So the battle at the front of the field has now shaped up to be between Sean McCara, Logan Helton, and Nate Warren. They all came down pit road lap 33. Sorry, Logan Helton was lap 35. So different strategies, and all of them end up in the same spot, battling for the front.
That's the beauty of the great equalizer, the draft. What I'm wondering here, though, we're 4 laps to the end of the stage when we cross the line this time around. Got some 3 wide action going on here. Are we going to be able to make it clean all the way through to the end of the stage?
Kenny Reel down on the bottom. Good heads up move by him. Yep, 3 wide. The 33 of Jeff Crosby Jr., 16 of Nate Warren, and the 88 of Gabe Butler. End of the stage really getting close now.
For a minute, it looked like Anthony English thought about going 4 wide KR. Had a little look to the outside of that 85, but I guess thought a little bit better of it and tucked back in the line.
Shane Ward down on the inside, getting out of the way. Right now we have 21 cars on the lead lap. Last car on the lead lap, that is the 84 of Lynn McNeese.
And I mean, that's just another championship driver in trouble here, KR. I mean, add McNeese to the list. Sure, he's not a lap down yet, but I mean, he's going to be the next on the list. That'll give us, what, 5, 6 playoff drivers with problems here from Talladega with time running out. About, what are we going to have, 42-ish laps after the stage end to get through?
I faded out in the last part, Dave. I'm gonna be honest. I have no idea what you said. I was looking at something, trying to set up my next thought, and forgot to pay attention to you.
Now you're just treating me like everybody else, you know, where you hear the voice, but you have no idea.
Right?
At least I know I'm loved the same by everybody. Not
Yeah,
enough.
which is not
Just
at all.
Just kidding. See? Wait a minute. I said not enough. That's crazy. You didn't even give me any. That's crazy.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Get no love.
Final lap here in
Thanks.
stage number 2. We'll let Dave unpack his emotional trauma. Gabe Butler in the 88. Jeff Crosby Jr. in the 33. Down the back stretch. Logan Helton in the 63, making some noise in the 3rd lane. He has Anthony English working with him. The 85 of Adam Kilday back up there. We saw Kilday pop his engine not too long ago, but here he is battling for some stage points.
Ooh.
And big trouble, the 33 of Jeff Crosby Jr. upside down. Logan Helton slow. It looks like Gabe Butler going to cross the line first. Let's see if we can figure out what happened here. See if we can't get another shot at it. It's like the 81 and the 33 get together, and Crosby Jr. big time up in the air, up into the fence. Tough break for the 33. He ends up upside down with blown motor, so we will have to have the assistants back to pit road and burn a fast repair. So a double whammy here at the end of stage 2 for the 33.
And that's just one of those scenarios that I was kind of talking about earlier. What if you get in a problem, you pop your engine and you can't get back to pit road? Sure, you're going to be able to get to fight for positions. Maybe not very many. You're just going to have to try to fight for every point you can from this moment on. And for a driver that was inside of, besides the pit cycles, has been inside of the top 6, 7 all night long. Big hurt right there for the 33.
Well, Gabe Butler leads the field on the pit road. We'll let Butler make his pit stop. As the 88 down and away. All right, Dave, let's get a word in with the 88. You caught up with him.
Hey, Gabe, it's David Booth. You got us?
I do, gentlemen. What's up?
Same old same for us. How's it going down there in the car after walking away with the stage win?
Yeah, well, I mean, try and get points, try and get a win, move to the next round, and hope for the best. Just kind of got to make it to the end here, and hopefully we're in a spot or in a position to at least have a shot at the win anyway, so we'll see.
Man, there's been a lot of carnage, a lot of chaos up there near the front of the field and throughout the field here tonight. A lot of those championship competitors of yours are having a little bit of problems here tonight. So with all that being said, how many of those sponsored drinks are you going to have to calm the nerves after the end of this one?
Oh, I'm good, brother. I've already got a couple in me, so I'm feeling handsome.
Well, it's never like me to call another man handsome, so I'll leave that to KR. But man, again, congratulations on the stage win. Any shout outs, thank yous, love yous before we let you go?
Shout out to you guys for doing your fantastic broadcast. OP for putting this league on, T Boot Knocker, and of course Guinness, my sponsor.
All right, Gabe, once again, congratulations on the stage.
Thank you, fellas.
Driver of the 88, Gabe Butler, our stage 2 winner. Field getting racked and stacked once again. A little bit hectic right now. See him get lined up. All right. Final half of the race, Dave. 4 yellow flags, 2 for stages.
Yeah, well, we're not going to have to worry about any more of those stage cautions, so only going to be cautions for chaos. I'm sure we haven't seen the last of that here tonight. Again, it is Talladega. It is super speedway racing. It is playoff time. I mean, we've kind of touched on it here and there. I've mentioned it with the guys in trouble. Why? Because I like to talk about the bad things in life sometimes. It just, you know, because when guys do better, then, you know, it's a story about perseverance. So we'll see who can work their way through the troubles here tonight. We'll see who can keep it up at the front. Up 20 positions, going to start from that outside row as the 126 of Rob DuPont still your control. Gabe Butler going to look for the race win after winning stage number 2. We're going to smash the gas. We'll let it loose and away we go once again here tonight from Talladega Super Speedway. KR looks like that inside lane not quite getting going, but there's the tail of those front 3. That's going to give them a bit of a better push through the center of 1 and 2.
3 cars in the outside lane, building a little bit of momentum. See if we can get them to the front down the backstretch. The 88 of Butler has the lead going into turn 3, but does not clear the bottom lane. As they come around, another lap in the books.
Sorry there, KR had to mute for a second.
Another lap in the books, Dave. And it looks like the second lane starting to form up. The 33 of Jeff Crosby Jr. trying to get back on the lead lap. Maybe do it the hard way, but he's got a battle with the 39 of Shane Ward.
Man, I don't know, man. I mean, if you're one of those championship drivers, just the 1 lap down, you gotta go for broke, dude. Try to get yourself back on the lead lap. You can't allow a fellow championship competitor to get the 1 up on you, but at the same time, man, you gotta make sure you get to the end. We still got ourselves a little less than 40 to go. I believe we're gonna have about, 38-ish or so when we cross the line this time around. So yeah, I mean, a big battle for those guys that are 1 lap down. Hoping, praying for a caution, and hoping not being in it either.
Yeah, being in the caution is going to be counterproductive. Let's ask Richard Kuhn how well that's working out for him.
Well, I mean, it's working out like an ashtray on a motorcycle.
Right? Splattered everywhere.
I mean, at least he's got some company, though, 2KR. At least he's not the only one back at the hauler. Looks like Winningham and Fritsch also going to join him back at their haulers. So, not as lonely out of the race for him, but yeah, still a tough way to start the round of 16 as a championship competitor. But on the opposite side of the spectrum, Ben out front showing the way behind the wheel of that 88 machine. Gabe Butler flipped the script of 21 positions here, KR, from, I believe, the regular. No, it wasn't Butler. It was Fritsch. That was the regular season points leader, but yeah, still a hell of a night so far for Butler.
Yeah, Gabe Butler still looking for his first win this season, dominating the points earnings, earning the most points without a race win. Most points of all the drivers who didn't get a race win. I'll spit it out.
Most non-winningest points driverist.
Right?
No? Okay. Yeah, something like that.
Sure. Something like that. All right, Gabe Butler, Sean McCarra battling at the front of the field with Robert DuPont trying to make some moves on the inside lane. Butler drops down to the bottom.
Check out that 33 man. Right back in the mix in the front of this field. Yes, he is down multiple positions all the way down in 23rd, but fast drivers always find a way to get to the front, whether they're on the lead lap, in a lucky dog position, or fighting for the race lead. And it just goes to show you, just a handful of laps ago, had to use that quick fix in the 33 Skull Bandit machine right here riding where he's been comfortable all night, KR. A little bit of problems here, a little bit of a setback, but Crosby hanging it out.
Yeah, that 33 working hard to get his lap back. And right now, he is the last car on the lead lap. He's just got his nose out in front. Either way, even if he's out in front, gonna need that help from a caution to allow him to catch back up to the field.
I'm trying to look through right now and I'm trying to find most of our playoff drivers and just get a sense of how their nights are going, where everybody's at. And you know, a handful with trouble, a handful running near the front, and just the rest kind of peppered through that mid-pack. So it's going to be interesting to see how this one pans out over the course of these next 33 laps that we have remaining here tonight. Still green flag pit stops for this final stage linger out in front of these drivers at KR. So while drivers are mixing it up to try to lead some laps, they're going to have to keep an eye on that fuel gauge.
Yeah, that fuel gauge always going to be something you're keeping track of. We were last on pit road 10 laps ago. I'd be expecting our green flag pit stop cycle in full swing here in 10 laps or so. Gonna try and stretch this as far as they can this time, because can't get to the end on this pit stop, and I think it's still going to take one other one.
So do you run it long both times, or do you come down, get the short can of fuel this time?
Yeah,
and
you
then
want
have the longer stop be your final stop.
You want to stretch your fuel out as far as you can. Both times here is the 0.3. Steve Rada has a little bit of a moment through the tri-oval. But yeah, you want to stretch your fuel out here and try and keep your final pit stop as short as possible. The more you can add fuel, the deeper into the end of this race you can go without having to stop, the better off you'll be.
Yeah, but I mean, you're somewhat gonna have an idea, right? We had a green flag pit cycle there in stage number 2, so you have some thoughts of what a fuel run looks like if you're gonna have to make one stop and then at least another stop for a can of fuel. Why not just flip that and get the can here down with a handful of other drivers willing to work that strategy with you? If the pit road time happens to be the same, would you rather get yourself away from the big pack that has been the problem?
Yeah. I mean, as long as you got some help, anything can work. You're gonna always gotta need help, always gotta have a plan.
That seems to be my problem. Yeah, I always need help and can never find any.
That's okay.
I mean, most of the time that's when I'm looking in the mirror. It's crazy, ain't it?
Yeah. Yeah, crazy. You're so crazy, Dave. It's fine, though.
Crazy. I know.
Well, on board with the 63 of Logan Helton, as he is behind the 15 and he'll logging some laps here. 3 wide, but it seems to be a calm 3 wide. Not quite out of shape just yet.
And I think you called it right there as we continue to watch that onboard camera with Logan Helton. Looks like he's just content to ride right here for right now, knowing that we do have those green flag pit cycles in front of us. Looks like he's just happy to sit right here, still in touch with the lead pack. Everybody going nowhere fast, so I kind of like the strategy. I've always kind of liked the hang back, let things happen strategy. Sure, it's backfired for me, but a lot of times I end up on the other end smelling like roses.
Yeah, hanging back is always a good little strategy. It does keep you out of the big ones. You do run some risks. Run the risk of losing a draft if you're too far back. And yeah, so it's a fine line to walk.
It's a fine line to walk when you're risking the runs too.
Yeah, being at the front is where I like to be. I can, at least if I crash out at the front, I can say I was in front. Crashing out at the back just doesn't crash.
Then you got wrecked. If you're in the front, then you can say you got wrecked. You know what I mean? But if you're in the back, you ran into the crash. Like,
yep.
What are you doing, bud?
Yeah, you don't want to do that. All right, so Steve Rada out in front in the 03. Steve has the 33 of Jeff Crosby Jr. all over his back bumper. 16 of Nate Warren working to the outside. We are at 26 laps to go.
And out of our top 10 KR right now, only what, 4 drivers not up double digits in the move that they've made from where they started tonight's race. We got drivers up 10, 11, 12, 16, 19 positions, all inside of your top 10. Logan Helton, he's still up 11. McNeese up 13, sitting back in 16th. So a lot of big movers here tonight with not a lot of time left to pick up those final few spots.
Yeah, 25 laps to go, and Robert DuPont, Steve Rada on pit road, so green flag pit stops have started. Everett Lane washing up the racetrack as we got a lot of drivers peeling off for pit road. Nate Warde heads for his pit stall, bringing a bunch of drivers with him. Dustin Logston in the 81 takes over the race lead. Logston and Workman now running 1 and 2.
And it looks like 9 guys left on track, 9 guys to pit road with that group of drivers. Long train single file here. Only Peter deBorja left to the high side in that extra life 42 machine. And it looks like he's going to lose quite a bit of ground here as everybody going to freight train him on that inside lane. He's going to look for a hole. He fills it. Got a little close, but everybody coming to pit lane.
Yeah, and just like that, we will complete our green flag pit stop cycle.
These guys are racing on pit road, man. That was just about as action-packed as the racing on the track. They were 3 wide coming down pit road. And I don't mean just on the entry. They, like, halfway down pit road, those guys were still 3 wide. Nobody given.
Gabe Butler in the 88, making his way by himself onto pit lane. That is not boding well for the championship contender.
I think that's the curse here tonight. If you're a championship driver, you have had some problems.
Yeah, absolutely. It has been a problem-filled race for our playoff drivers. On board with Zach Workman, looking out the back. Dustin Logston in the 81. Don McCara, our race leader. Nate Warren right behind him. As the field makes its way around, 33 of Jeff Crosby Jr. leads this pack, but not the race. He's the last car on the lead lap.
Again, the 2 guys right behind him are championship contenders. One of the few championship contenders we haven't had a big chance to talk about here tonight. Just a quiet night for both that 71 and the 16. And right when we say that, Workman's gonna catch up to him, pull to the outside, have a little look, thinks better of it, gonna stay in line for the moment, bringing the 81 right along with him, and I believe deBorja right here in tow. More drivers gonna join this single file train as we cross the line with just 21 to go.
John McCara, our race leader. Nate Warren, Zach Workman, Dustin Logston, Peter deBorja make up your top 5. Been a rough go for a few of these drivers. As we get closer to the end, some of them starting to creep their way forward. Starting to try and make their presence felt. McCara in the 71. No different.
I'm a little interested to see the single file taking place when we're seeing it take place, right? I believe we've got 14 drivers right here in this lead pack. It's 20 to go. Now you guys want to go single file?
Yeah, on the inside lane.
I'm struggling with this one right now. I'm struggling.
Well, man, very far from making it to the end of this race on fuel. We're gonna have to stop no matter how much they save.
Yeah, well, I see some guys not saving. They said single file. They heading to the high side and heading right on around. Some veterans working the wheel together on that high side. Anthony English, Mark Mann coming together, and they're marching straight to the front. Anthony English just about clears that inside lane. I believe both drivers gonna be clear. Oh, close as they come down. Whew. About took the bandana off the bandit's face right there, man. That was pretty close.
So the 44 and the 04. Running 1 and 2, the 33 of Jeff Crosby Jr. Back to being one lap down. He's putting in a heck of an effort to try and get back on this lead lap. We'll see if he can make it happen. He hasn't given up just yet.
And I mean, not to say he would be this type of driver, but if you are in that situation, right? Do you maybe beat on the bumper of the guy in front of you just a little bit more? Maybe helping the carnage take place?
Well, you can't even have a 0X when the yellow flag comes out. Otherwise, you won't get the wave around or the free pass.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're sitting right here in second, sure, you're not going to be able to get. Well, I guess you do need the fuel at this point. I was going to say you won't be able to get the tires or fuel, but they're going to come to pit road. You'll get a wave around. You'll just still have to pit.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, the single file has returned, Dave. The 44 and the 04 use the outside lane to get to the race lead. Looks like everyone else content to ride around. We come around to 16 laps to go. Fuel window is open to make it to the end of this race. I think we'll see a couple drivers here in the next few laps try and hit pit lane and make their final stop.
Yeah, I mean, I think this makes it a little tougher on some of those guys at the front, like Anthony English, Mark Mann, sitting up there in first and second, even McCara sitting in third, and Warren in fourth. You can count any number of these guys all the way back to fifth place if you want, but now you're not going to have that visual, that telltale sign of drivers abandoning the runs in the middle or high lane to drop to the bottom to set themselves up for that pit road entry. Now is when you can get what I like to refer to as okie doke, where everybody looks like they're staying out, and all of a sudden it's just you and one other guy, and you're like, hey, where'd everybody go?
Yeah, it's always just one move away from being left out to dry.
Why is it left out to dry? Why is it never left out to stay wet?
Because we don't race in the rain here.
I mean, sometimes we do.
Well, it never goes well when we do.
I'm not going to disagree. traffic jam on the pit lane.
Hard racing on the pit road.
These pit road races are oh my gosh, just as good.
Looks like one driver overshot the pit box. With all of that, though, the 17 of Jimmy Reynolds scored as our race leader right now. He is running around by himself, so several miles an hour slower. And
you got 3 amigos sitting right there, second, third, fourth. They're going to peel off for pit road. So I don't know, that might benefit Reynolds here. Being all alone, these 3 drivers coming to pit road all together picked up a ton of time on them, so maybe they can link up and have a 4-car mini pack and see if they can't run down those guys at the front.
of our drivers who have pitted, 44 of Anthony English is out in front. Peter deBorja trying to use the second lane. So too is the 84 of Lynn McNeese. But the 44 of Anthony English. Now our race leader. And the 19 is Zach Workman coming to try and take it away from him.
And a big shove from the Helton on the back end of that 44. Gonna try to get him up there and keep Workman behind him. It's not going to be of any use. The 14 and the 19 Instacart machine going to easily take that top spot away. That's going to put Bucara in control of that outside lane. Peter deBorja right behind him, and I believe that's the 84, isn't it? Yes, it is. That's going to be Lynn McNeese. Just, again, quiet little night here for McNeese.
Yeah, Lynn McNeese, one of those drivers who can quietly work his way to the front, sneak up in there, and end up in the top 5 without really ever talking about him all night long.
Yeah, I mean, even the sponsor on that ride, I mean, who talks about going to pick up a part at Western Auto anymore?
Yeah.
I mean, just saying, all around, just a, you know, sleeper.
Absolutely. You know, McNeese getting into the playoffs with a win. Back at Talladega on November 24th. So, even this here at Talladega, Lynn McNeese knows how to get it done.
I was about to say, oh, so he's got to win. Oh, and it came here at Talladega. Not too shocked to see him sitting here running 5th, 6th, depending on where they're crossing the scoring loops as they go down the back stretches and through these corners. But side-by-side action all the way through. I believe that's going to be your top 8, 9 drivers right here. Left with a chance and opportunity for the race win. Will it be a championship hopeful? Or will we have one of these guys spoil the party?
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's been a weird race for our playoff drivers. Just hasn't always gone their way.
And you know what? Well, I'm going to take back what I said about will it be a driver that's not inside of your championship 16, because cream has risen to the top with 10 to go. Your top 9, all playoff hopefuls, or, well, contenders.
As the field continues to cycle around, this time by will be 9 laps to go. Workman, Sean McCara. off for turn number 1, side by side. The 44 of Anthony English in the inside lane. A lot of drivers migrating up to the second lane. That leaves just the 2 cars down on the bottom by themselves. A lot more energy being produced up top as the 71 drops down to the bottom.
Well, I mean, if you're going to want to make a move, KR, you're going to have to go, and you're going to have to go with numbers, and just nowhere to really jump out there. And you've seen what happened. Everybody went to the high side. Easy work for that high lane to get up and around. But are going to take control of that inside lane. That's going to put deBorja to his high side. Heavy pressure from the back. 84 all over the tail end of the 42 machine, doubling it up as we go back through 1 and 2. Looks like Anthony English getting a little bit of a reset here. Logan Helton going to fall in line. Mann right there as well. So 3 well-known veterans may be starting to work with each other. With just 7 to go when we cross the line this time by KR, it's going to be a dash to the end, and I don't know. I don't think we've seen the last of that caution flag.
I don't think so either, but with the spread out as this field is, we might have a good race to the finish here.
I don't know. I think I might like the game that I may be seeing English, Helton, and Mann playing right here. Maybe creating just a little bit of a gap to get a bigger run generated. Force it up to a 3 wide situation and use all that momentum to just sail by. Kind of like English and Mann did before that round of green flag pit stop started, KR. So this could be a methodical little bit of a move from those 3 veteran drivers, breaking up this group of 9 into just 2 packs of drivers, kind of equalizing the field, if you will.
.42 of Peter deBorja out in front. 6 laps to go. These guys still really starting to mix it up here in this lead pack.
And I am going to correct myself, KR. I did misspeak moments ago, but Sean McCara. Let me double check myself once again. Yes, McCara, the only driver inside of this lead 9 drivers that isn't a championship competitor. The other 8 all vying for a chance to easily move to round 2. And how bad do you think that 81 wants it? Dustin Logston came in with the reset in the championship points all to 0, but he came in listed as the quote-unquote the last driver in the list. Not sure if that means much of anything, but maybe trying to prove a little bit of a point.
Well, we do have our championship contenders rounding out the top 5 right now. We'll see how this plays out here as they come around for 3 laps to go. Warren in the 16. out in front, but does not drop down to the inside.
Looked like he wanted to follow the 19 down there, but the 19 a little bit too quick with the move. Kept the right front just enough underneath that left rear corner of the 16 to not allow that move to the bottom. And now that big run I talked about, it's been blocked. deBorja going to move up to the high side. That's going to force a little bit of a break up. English going to go back to the middle now. Mann looking to drop to the middle behind the 71 machine as we go 3 wide out of 3 and 4 heading to the line. We'll see popsicle sticks on display this time around. Just 2 to go here from Talladega.
2 laps left in this one. All we gotta do is get to the white flag, and then they can really let it hang out. But problem is, you gotta make your move while you can. Down the backstretch we go, Dave.
Yeah, and I don't think there's very many moves any of these drivers can make right now. Kind of looking like an interstate at 5 o'clock. It's gridlock, 3 wide, 2, 3 rows deep at this point in time. Advantage to that inside lane. Workman jumps from the bottom to the middle.
Here they come through the tri-oval. Good close racing. Looks like we're gonna get to the white flag final time around. Here we go.
Oh man, it's getting a little tough to talk about it. I'm just trying to watch it at this point. Man, these guys mixing it up pretty heavily. A lot of movement out of that middle lane as Logan Helton all over the rear of that 44 machine. Big shove to the back of Workman, who moves to the bottom. Now the battle between the 19 and 44 starts to take shape. Top side fading just a little bit. Looks like Logston and deBorja fading just a little here. And through the tri-oval coming to the line, KR.
Here they come to finish this one out. Anthony English, Zach Workman, Logan Helton, and at the line, I believe it's going to be the 44 of Anthony English.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing on my timing scoring. It could be wrong, but I want to point this out real quick before we get to who won and who and all that good jazz. I talked about those 3 veterans hanging back, getting a run. Got a little bit out of whack there, but all 3 of those drivers finished inside the top 5.
Gotta make your moves when you can. Gotta do it when you can. Let's go ahead and run through our results as soon as they pop up. 44 of English making his way around to celebrate. Punches his ticket into the next round, the first one to do so. All right, Anthony English, Zach Workman, Logan Helton are podium finishing drivers. Then it's Nate Warren, Mark Mann rounding out the top 5. Lynn McNeese, Dustin Logston in 7th. 8th is Sean McCarra, Peter deBorja 9th. And 10th place goes to Eric Lorey. 11th is Les Levy, Everett Lane 12th. 13th, Jimmy Reynolds, Steve Rada 14th. 15th is David Overstreet, Andy Regante 16th. 17th is Dave Hunt. 18th is Robert DuPont, our pole sitter. Jeff Crosby Sr. 19th. 20th goes to Adam Kilday. Gabe Butler 21st. Jeff Crosby Jr. 1 lap down in 22nd. Dane Ward 23rd. Vicente Guerrero 24th. Kenny Reel 25th. 26th goes to Sean Stevens. Zach Fritsch in 27th. Bubba Winningham 28th, and 29th is Richard Kuhn. So with that out of the way, let's move on to our post-race interviews. And this one's going to be kicked off with our race winner. And Dave, you caught up with the 44.
Yeah, have a little bit of a moment here to catch and have a few words with the driver inside of that Fox 44 machine as he continues to burn it down for the fans in the stands. Smoke show for us, and I'm a fan of smoke, so hope you are. Congratulations on the race win. How you feeling, bud?
Oh, thank you, man. Just happy to have a good points night. I mean, first race of playoffs. That's what you always hope for, is just to have a good points night. And didn't really expect to win. It was tougher at the end. They actually, I think it was a lot closer than what it was. I didn't think Logan really had enough of a run with me, but I'll take it, man. Hell yeah, good pushing by Logan. I owe that to Logan there.
Well, to me, it looks like a, what is that, 200th of a second that you were able to beat Workman to the line on, and just 400ths of a second, I believe, back to Helton. So the finish definitely photo-esque, but I want to talk about the run there at the end. Was there a little communication between you three veterans, you, Helton, and Mann, to kind of lay back a little bit and maybe get a run together and take it to the front?
Yeah, but we didn't know what was going on. We took a little bit less fuel than I think everybody else, so we could get out of pits a little quicker. So when we seen how small the field was at that last little bit of run, we all dropped to the back, just saved fuel. We wanted to make sure we had enough for at least 1 to 2 green white checkers, 1 for sure, 2 if we were good enough with timing of the caution or whatnot, So we kind of just dropped back, let those guys race, and decided to just see what us three couldn't do in the last couple laps. And we tried, but Peter blocked it, and it kind of got us all broken up. And, and then we just had to do what we had to do.
Well, you did what you had to do, and you got the job done, man. Congratulations on moving into the second round of the playoffs. You don't have to worry about the next 2 weeks, so a lot of weight lifted off your shoulders. Now maybe it's just time to help the teammates, but before all of that comes into play, you got to celebrate the rest of the night away. So before we let you go to do that, shout-outs, thank yous, love yous.
Yeah, big shout-out to you and KR. Everybody at Turn 3, what you guys do. You guys bring a great program to OP, and I love watching the replays and stuff like that back later during the week when I'm, working, doing some painting or whatnot. And big shout out to everybody that helps put this on and do what they do. All the admins, drivers, sponsors, everything, all the behind the scenes stuff and all that. It takes a lot of behind the scenes stuff to make this stuff come to life. And definitely my teammate Logan for the push at the end, huge push at the end to get a W, get me through to the second round. Hopefully maybe next week I can help Mark Adam or one of those other guys, get their ticket through and stuff. And still big shout out to the rest of the team too, like Adam and Mark and all them. Adam had a real bad night, so we'll have to dig Adam out of a little bit of a hole, but he's a champion, so I think we can do it. And then just family, friends, everybody watching at home, mom, dad, beautiful girlfriend on the couch sitting, and that's about it. Yeah.
Well, with that being said, man, get yourself out the rig and over to the couch. I'm just saying, until we can talk again, stay safe, keep it fast.
All right, thank you very much, man. You guys have a good one.
All right, KR, there you go. Final words from the man parked at the start-finish line, checkered flag in hand. I think you've had a chance to talk to our next podium driver in the field here tonight.
That I have caught up with Zach Workman in the 19. Zach, you bring it home in second place, man. Congratulations.
Yeah, we'll take that finish.
Man, tell me a little bit about the racing out there.
I mean, it was pretty jam-packed. Like there's a lot of people out. I didn't expect kind of this big of a lobby from the last like 3 or 4 weeks we've had. So seeing 29 drivers was pretty cool. But yeah, no, it was intense. I kind of figured it would be with playoffs and everything. People trying to get on a good start. We missed the first 2 barely. I don't know how. Like it just went right in front of us and slowed up enough on the first one, got past, and the second one it was like right in front of us, and yeah, somehow we made it. So yeah, there's really no damage on the car, so I'll take that because I seen a couple playoff guys had some issues. But yeah, first stage we kind of we got shuffled back. We should have probably been top 5, but I think we finished 8th or 9th or whatever. So we got a couple points there. And then the second stage, I think me and Pete got that net code and just sent me down. Glad I saved the car and just kind of kept on going. And then at the end, didn't have a whole lot of friends up there, but I seen Vendetta had their entire team and FSR and Nerditudes and all that stuff. So I was just kind of the lone guy. I was like, yeah, if I get in top 5 out of this deal, I'll be pretty happy. So definitely P2 is good.
Well, man, P2 here to kick off playoff run. Not a bad place to be, so congratulations on second place. Anything you missed that you'd like to add?
No, not really. Kept the car straight, turned left 95 times, and brought it home second. So we'll take that definitely.
All right, man. Well, nice job out there, and congratulations on second place.
Thanks, buddy, and thank you for watching us go in circles. Dave, nice, nice to come around, man. We appreciate you. Appreciate you, KR. OP admins doing their job, and everyone racing hard today. So.
There you go. That is Zach Workman. Bring it home in second place. Now let's move on to our third place driver. And this one picked up the stage win to kick off this race. Dave, you got Logan Helton.
Yeah, Logan back on the mic with us once again at the end of tonight's race. Picked up a stage win. Third place here tonight. So all in all, walking away from the first race in the first round with a good points day. How you feeling at the end of this one?
Well, just glad to get through it with the car at the end still. That was a lot of fun there working with Anthony and Mark and Adam. Unfortunately, he got caught up in something, so he was a lap down. But yeah, it was a lot of fun working with those guys and getting to the end there. Glad Anthony got the win. I was able to push him there and got third out of it. So I am now here talking to you guys.
Well, you talked to us at the end of the stage about how these cars were maybe reacting a little bit different from the pushing. Did that come into factor at all? Because you made a heck of a run there with the 44 and gave him one of the best pushes we've seen all race long. So walk us through that one. Was it well, here goes nothing, or how confident were you when you started that final push?
I was pretty confident. It started on the backstretch, and that's simple enough. It's straight, but in the turns, it does get complicated. The easiest way I found to do it is if you kind of roll high a little bit while you're disconnected, and you kind of slowly be coming back down when you make contact. It cancels out them getting turned to the left. So it really just shoots them forward in the turn. So that's kind of what I did the whole time. If y'all saw me kind of moving up, down, up, down, up, down real quick in the turns, that's because I'm making slight pushes over and over and over again, just shooting them forward instead of shooting them sideways. So I'm sure everyone now hearing this is going to be using that technique, but it's all good. It's fun to pull off right, and we got it done tonight.
Well, Logan, there's one thing, this is not a shot at the rest of the rest of the field in saying what you said there. They might know about it now. It's one thing to know. It's another thing to know how to do it. You can explain something to somebody 1,000 times and they can get it wrong 1,001. So, I mean, you can give the secrets if you want to. That doesn't mean they're going to be able to use them. Just gonna throw that out. Right. Just so there's a reason why you're one of the youngest legends in the OP racing, in my personal opinion. So yeah, I'll just kind of hang it on that one. But again, congratulations on the great race here tonight. Up 21 positions in total, so that's another thing to add to the bag on the good side for you here tonight. So before we let you go, shout outs, thank yous, love yous.
Yeah, just once again, thanks to you guys for broadcasting the race, Turn 3 Racing Network. Thanks to my friends and family for watching. Everyone at Vendetta for letting me hang out with them. Mark, Anthony, and Adam. It's a lot of fun racing those guys. Thanks to Numbers by Joe for being on the car. Thanks to Nexus Esports and Splash & Go Graphics for making my paint scheme. And like I said earlier, thanks to the Chipotle I had and the Coke that I had, and thanks to my girlfriend for letting me race while she's trying to sleep right next to my racing rig. So I'll head on out of here now.
All right, but man, well, we wish you the best through the course of the remaining races in the playoffs. And until we talk again, stay safe, keep it fast.
Thank you.
All right, Dave.
KR, that's it.
That's a wrap, man.
That's it.
I guess
that's it.
What do we do now? Go to bed?
I mean, it is kind of late out here on the East Coast for us, but
Don't
hey.
you got to shovel some snow?
No, it's all gone. See, that's the beautiful thing about living in the South, by the way, before we go. Almost a foot of snow, not lying, gone in a day. Gotta love it.
Yep, beautiful job.
I know, Roger, if you're listening, you just keep shoveling that driveway for now the 7th day straight. Love you, bud. He's gonna kill me.
Yeah, that's all right. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much for joining us. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Make sure you tune in next week for race number 2 for the Bumpy Road 250. Our championship battle continues on at the Legacy Daytona track. So until next week, y'all stay safe. Have a great night.
Premier Racing Setups is the longest running setup shop on iRacing. Our monthly subscription options start as low as $20 a month. We offer setups for dirt oval, asphalt oval, and road racing, covering a wide range of cars and skill levels. Built and tested by top-tier sim racers, this isn't just a business, it's a community of competitive drivers. If you want to better your iRacing experience, head over to PremierRacingSetups.com today. And remember, if you don't get one, you're going to chase one.